They said you wanted to see me, Coach?
Yeah, man. Step on up into my office. It's HomeSpun Sports with Coach John Montgomery. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Welcome, and happy holidays. We're so glad that you had an opportunity to tune in once again to HomeSpun Sports. It's sports talk with just a twist of down-home wisdom. I'm your host, the coach, John Montgomery, a.k.a. John 2, way up there in good old Oklahoma City, my kinfolk, the last P in the shell, my baby boy. What's up, Slim? What's up, man?
How you doing, Coach? Happy holidays to you, Coach. Happy holiday and happy New Year to you.
Oh, man, happy New Year, man. Slim, I am so excited about this show. You know, Slim, the holidays are all about reunions, okay? And you and I have been talking about that. We need to get back together and do a show. Yeah, Slim, I know, man, we need to do a show. So we were planning this reunion show. But now, Slim, our very special guest, you talk about a reunion. Slim, I go back with this brother, man, all the way to 1976.
Man, that's back, Coach.
You talk about a stand-up brother and a man's man. Our very special guest, just tell you a little bit about this brother. He is a coach's ball coach. 3-time SEC Coach of the Year. I'm gonna let you tell him all about himself, but we go back a minute. So grateful that he took time from bouncing them grandbabies off his lap to come and share with us on HomeSpun Sports. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome my show enough partner from way back in the day, Coach Houston Nutt.
What do you say, John? Mildred?
How you doing, Coach?
Good to see you guys.
Man, Houston Dale Nutt. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Coach, it's good to see you. It's really good to see
you. Hey, you've done grown up, man. I hadn't seen you in so long. You done grown up into a real man. I've been real proud of you. I've been watching your shows. Y'all done a great job, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much, man. He has shot up a little bit. Last time you saw him, H, was when we brought up to when you were at Ole Miss. When you were the head coach at Ole Miss, and we came up and you let me work your camp, and then you picked us up and took us to your house, and we watched the NBA playoffs.
Beautiful, man. That was beautiful red seats. That was a nice theater room you had, Coach. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Have good seats and popcorn to watch games.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time.
So it's 1976, and I'm a student assistant at Oklahoma State University. Jim Stanley is the head coach. Gene Henderson's the offensive coordinator. And they recruiting this hotshot quarterback from Eufaula, Oklahoma by the name of J.C. Watts. Okay? And Jim Stanley, the head coach, they flew down to Poto, and they go get your pawpaw, Slim, to go help them recruit because Daddy knew Buddy Watts, JC's dad. So Dad and Jim Stanley in the front seat, and I'm in the back seat of the car with Gene Henderson, and we going over to Eufaula to recruit J.C. Watts. And Gene Henderson says to me, he says, if I get this kid, it's great and good, and if we don't get him, there's two more that I really would like to have just as much as J.C. One of them is a kid named Harold Bailey, Jack Yates High School, 3rd Ward, and the other one is a kid out of Little Rock by the name of Houston Nutt. First time I'd ever heard that name. Well,
wow. That's going back. That's going way back.
That goes way back. And that was my first recollection of Houston Nutt. Yeah. But then when we really got to be boys was when you came to Okie State, did the GA for Jimmy. for Jimmy Johnson.
Right.
And I was running back coach at Wichita State during that time. And I recruited Tulsa would stop in and get you. We go down the strip and eat hamburgers at the Burger King down there.
That's right. That's right. I remember it like yesterday.
We go back a minute. We go back a minute.
Coach, tell us about your background, your early experiences and your influence in coaching.
Yeah. Mildred, I tell you, I'm a very fortunate victim of circumstance because I had a mother and father who gave 4 boys a lot of time and love. My father played for 2 of the greatest basketball coaches in the world, Adolph Rupp of Kentucky.
Yes.
And then he transferred to Oklahoma State to play for Henry Iba. And his junior year, his roommate was a guy by the name of Eddie Sutton. So he had tremendous background. My father's parents were totally deaf. So he knew in his heart that from the day he graduated, he was going to go back to the Arkansas School for the Deaf and coach. My mother, where he met my mother was at Oklahoma State. My mother wanted to be a school teacher, but what my mother didn't realize is my dad already had her a job at Arkansas School for the Deaf, but the problem was she didn't know how to sign. And that's the problem.
That is
and so that was really hard on her, but she learned on the run and they taught there and coached there for 34 years. And so when I say I'm a fortunate victim of circumstance, then I had besides those were the 2 best coaches I had from raising to discipline to going to church and all these things to now, you add Frank Broyles, Lou Holtz, Jimmy Johnson, Eddie Sutton. Had the privilege to play for Eddie Sutton. Eddie Sutton's assistants were Pat Foster, Gene Cady. Larry Lacewell actually gave me my first job, and I stayed there for 4 weeks. And then Pat Jones, who John knows very well, Pat Jones gave me really my first big job, gave us a break for Diana and I. So I just have been fortunate. What I miss most, John, Mildred, what I really miss most, I hadn't had a team in 12 years. What we miss the most, and I think, John, you agree with me, you miss the relationships.
People business. People business. People business, H.
Yes. And I can remember many a times when you and I are eating hamburgers and you're talking about Icky Woods and, and I'm sitting there talking about Hartley Dykes or watching Barry Sanders. You miss that camaraderie. You miss that competitive Saturday. But here's what makes you feel good. And I know you get this too. When you get that letter, that email, that text from one of your former players that said, "Hey, coach, best days of my life was at Murray State. I'm a father that I am today. I'm a husband that I am today because of those days and what you put into me coming to my dorm room at 2 a.m. when I was ready to quit." It's things like that,
All day, man. I'm right there with you, Houston. It's a people business, and I know you know that. And man, dude, I mean, I go back, man, to man. I remember your dad, man, and Miss Emma Jean, man, and come on, man, and you taking pictures with you and my mom and daddy on the charter jet with Oklahoma State going. I'm telling you, we go back a minute, Houston, man.
Let me say this real quick before you get going. Your mother and daddy, Mildred, your grandmother and grandfather, there's not 2 better people in the world, And I tell you, I had such admiration, such respect. Your dad was so smart. And I just love being around and to listen to the history and the stories and the knowledge and the wisdom that he had. And your mother, same thing. And so it's just there's nothing like family.
Yeah, nothing like it. Nothing like it. H, man, I didn't realize. I want you to take on the CFP. But I did not realize, Houston, that you were an analyst for CBS Sports for 11 years.
11 years. And that's going from, I live in McKinney, Texas. I fly out of DFW on Thursday, come back Sunday for 21 straight weeks. It was a grind, but I'm really thankful for CBS for giving me an opportunity to be able to watch football, to make a little bologna and cheese money along the way, and to watch football all weekend. and be around great guys. Randy Cross, Aaron Taylor, Brian Jones, Brent Stover, Kevin Carter, Aaron Taylor. All these guys were so good, and the people to work with. I saw a different side, where I didn't realize, John, they start sending you material on Sunday. And I'll tell you a quick story. I got in trouble the very first week, my first year. I told Dinah, I said, they're probably going to fire me. And she said, why? First game, we're out there. We got the Mountain West game. And I'm in the studio. And I've always pronounced Nevada.
Okay.
Nevada. And so at halftime, my producer says, you see all these boards lit up? Instagram, Twitter, this and that. I said, yeah. We get a lot of people watching. Got a lot of people watching, but they don't like you right now. They're disappointed, Coach Nutt, because you don't know how to pronounce the state of Nevada. It's Nevada.
Nevada.
You called it Nevada.
What I really wanted to say was, hey, if y'all make some first downs, I'll learn how to pronounce y'all's name. But I didn't go that route, okay? But anyway, hey, pronunciations and all these things, Tua Tunga Baloa, the Tongans and Samoans. When you got some BYU players, some California players, and you got all these names, that's someone's son. And so you better make sure the pronunciations are right. And so I started getting these researchers, Mildred, and I said, hey, research, don't spell Tua Tunga Baloa with all those A in the way. Give it to me the way the phonics, the way it sounds.
Phonetically.
Tua Tunga Baloa. Spell it like that. That's going to help this Southern boy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Coach, do you know how many times me and Pops went back and forth on DJ Uyangalele? Do you know how many times I had to look him up on YouTube several times, and we were still convinced we were saying it wrong.
Exactly.
All day. All right, now. All right, RH. The elephant in the room. Monday. Yeah. All right. Andrea already got the black eyed peas so she bought them the other day. Gonna put them on the soak. 5 o'clock Eastern time, 4 o'clock Central. Alabama, Michigan, Rose Bowl. You coach 2 SEC schools. If anybody knows that conference, it's you. What's your take on the game?
I'm like you. I got my black-eyed peas, cornbread ready too. Donna has it ready. Can't wait to watch this one. This is going to be a good old physical game. Now, we know that Michigan, the one thing about Michigan, they're a physical bunch now. And they beaten everybody on their schedule. And I'm anxious to see what McCarthy, how he's going to handle the defense of Alabama. If you look at what Alabama, this may be Nick Saban's best coaching job. And I say that.
Serious business.
I say that because if you go back to the first game, and there's a lot of noise after the first game. You didn't beat Texas at home. You didn't beat them, and all of a sudden you bench a Milroe. You bench him.
Yeah.
And now you're trying the other two quarterbacks. Look how far this team has evolved. And now you look at Milroe. He ain't even the same person he was back in September.
No.
Different point guard now. This brother is playing quarterback the way it's supposed to be played. So I really think right now the way Alabama's playing and how much they've improved, offense, defensively. I'm saying they're gonna say I'm a homer, John, but hey, I guess I am because I believe in Alabama that much. But I do think it's gonna be a rock'em sock'em now.
I do too.
Michigan won't flinch. Michigan won't flinch now.
Michigan won't flinch, but Michigan, Houston played 9 games till they got to Penn State in the 10th game was the first ranked team they played.
First test.
Right. I'm with you 100%. That's why I'm going Alabama. I believe that. And I really like the way the defense is playing right now. Secondary's improved so much since September, man. They are so much better. Alignment, assignment, eyes, playing the ball. And then offensively, I just believe in Milroe now because they're going to use his legs. He's a strong runner. And he's gotten better with accuracy. The one thing you didn't know is how accurate would Jalen be. But man, he's gotten better and better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's got 2 good vertical threats with that boy. Number 3, the kid that he got in the portal, Jermaine. What's his name? And the kid that caught the touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone against Auburn. So he's got 2 real good vertical threats. Houston, I'll tell you something, and I want your take on Washington and Texas. The thing that impressed about Alabama is if you're sitting there at Alabama, you're looking and you're thinking, hey, we done already beat the hardest team in this scenario. We're the ones that sent Georgia home.
Right. Right.
So I tell you, I'm like you, Houston. I like Alabama. And this McCarthy kid is going to have to play better than he's ever played against the best team that he's ever played.
That's exactly right. That's a good point. And this game is going to be fast. Now he's going to have to speed up that clock because they coming.
Yes, sir. They're going to find out real quick, Houston, that they're not playing Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois.
Real quick.
So y'all in agreement, Alabama?
Oh, Alabama. All
right, now, H. Now let's go down to Nolans.
Yeah.
The Sugar Bowl.
I can't wait for this game either now. This game right here. Texas, I got to give it to them. They've come a long way. I love the way they're playing, but I want to talk about Washington first.
Okay.
This Michael Penix may be the best quarterback now. He may be the best quarterback in the country. Michael Penix can go. I'm talking about can flat out go. His receivers are big time. Now, what he hadn't seen, though, this defensive front from Texas, right here, watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out. That's something you said they hadn't seen. Washington hadn't seen a front like this. And so if they can get home with 4 and they can cover with 7 and keep things mixed up between maybe a few pressures here and there, Michael Penix will see another speed of the game. I may see how he does. But I'm going to tell you, if I'm going to a fair, I want Michael Penix because he's going to win all the teddy bears. He's going to win them all. This guy can throw it. I mean, I've seen him throw the post corners. I've seen him throw crossers, touch passes. This guy is fun to watch. I just don't think he's seen enough of what he's going to see with Texas. I'm going to lean Texas this game. I'm thinking Texas-Alabama rematch.
Let's go.
Slim and I had talked about that, Houston. Now, the Washington O-line won the Joe Moore Award.
Yes.
They did. 19 sacks all season, Coach.
Yes, real good. Big time. And you know what? That will help Penix. If they can somehow lean on that, where Michael doesn't have to make every play, if they can get the Joe Moore guys going against this front, now you got a different story. But I'm just kind of right now, I think Texas is, they look pretty strong to me, man. They look really strong. They tore our homeboys up now.
Yeah, they did. I'll tell you what, that Sweat kid at the defensive tackle, the won the Outland Trophy, and that Murphy kid, they got 2 inside run stuffers that can rush the passer.
Wow.
Will they make Washington one-dimensional and totally eliminate their run game?
Yeah. Well, if you're in Washington, if you and I are in the coaching staff with Washington, they're saying the opposite. They're saying this. Hey, listen, we got the Joe Moore. We got the best offensive line in the country. I'll be doggone if we're going to sit back here and throw it 60 times. Okay. We're going to make Texas defend and stop our run. We're going to get our running game going, and we're going to get 3.5, 4 yards a pop. And you put that pressure on the offensive line and say, we're going to take care of the most precious thing we have, the ball. We take care of the ball. We get our running game going. Now Michael can get the big explosive plays when you get the running game going. So I tell you, they're going to be challenged, So I love this game.
It's going to be a heck of a game. You got,
undefeated Washington. I mean, I didn't think they would beat Oregon twice. I didn't either.
I thought in the Pac-12 championship, I had Oregon winning, but Michael Penix make a believe out of me. And Houston, I hear you about Texas. But before we get to your take on a couple more things, I'll say this. If that offensive line of Washington plays like grown men and gives that kid time, because they have a better court. I'll take Penix over Ewers all day.
Yes. I'm with you there. I'm leaning to Texas because of the front, the guys that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking they're going to win out, and that's why I'm going Texas.
Okay, all right. Houston, you've been around the game a good while, and you've been an analyst at CBS. You've seen it, and you're still connected to the pulse of college football. What's the future of our game, H, with NIL and transfer portal? Right quick, your take on that, man.
I tell you, John, I'm worried about it, man. I'm sitting on the sideline. I've been sitting on it for a while, and I'm watching, especially the last 3 to 4 years. When we had SEC head coaches meetings every spring, I remember like yesterday, Steve Spurrier, Nick Saban, Mark Richt, myself, and all the other. We voted. We wanted players to have money. We wanted them to have a bigger piece of the pie. And that's where the cost of attendance started talking, started coming along. Now, I got out of coaching when the cost of attendance came along. I thought that's great. Depending on the school, $6,000-$7,000 a year. The young men can still keep their Pell Grant. They won the little $3,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 for the UCLA video thing. Won that. So
NCAA game.
Yeah, NCAA, right. And so you got in 1976 as a freshman at University of Arkansas, I got $6.25 for a laundry check. I never will forget going to Ken Turner. I says, "What is this check right here for? Laundry?" It says, "Is that your laundry check?" I said, "For laundry? Whatever you want." And I was excited, John, because I had $2 for a burger, $2 for gas, $2 for a movie ticket. Man, hey, I'm rich.
You talking.
So now you fast forward, what a great time to be a student athlete. But here's what I'm worried about. The future of football. Let's go back. Let's say one of my let's go Darren McFadden. If I had Darren McFadden at University of Arkansas, do you know he would have Walmart commercial, Tyson chicken, Stevens Incorporated? He would have everybody in the state of Arkansas. He'd make over $1 million plus, right? The problem is on that Monday after all the when it all gets, because the players in that locker room, they know how much money who has.
Come on now.
We talk.
I'm getting knocks on my door. Remember you telling Mildred, "Come on in." I got a bunch of them saying, "Come on in, Coach." What we got? And Felix Jones and Peyton Hillis are asking me, "Hey, Coach, can I get a deal? There's an open week coming up. Can I get a deal?" That locker room. I mean, I want players to have money, but this is you're talking about one or two making big money, and now the guy that's blocking for Darren McFadden, he gets nothing, or he gets little peanuts.
Yeah.
So you have that. Now you add the transfer portal to this world. I've helped people transfer, John. You have too.
Yeah.
When things don't work out right, but now when a coach may holler at somebody a little bit too loud, he don't like me, I'm gonna put my name in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So the perseverance, the lessons of perseverance. I got an email last night from a player that says, "Coach, thanks for hanging in with me. I got knocked down. You kept telling me to get back up. I was third team. I was second team." All those lessons that we learn in the greatest game in the world, football. Now it's kind of, hey, it's microwave it. Quit. You can quit. Put your name in the portal and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so the loyalty's gone. Now, I spoke at a few teams. I've spoken at Missouri, SMU. Now, SMU, I like what they did. This Coach Rhett Lashley got them all in the room in August and said, "Hey, I got some collectives, got some boosters. I'm gonna give every one of you $35,000. $35,000 will divide up the money each month. You get your money. You go to school. You do what's right. You get $35,000. Now, if you do something outside of that, you're on your own on NIL. I'm telling you what we're giving you as a team." I like that, John, because that locker room now is like, okay, I'm getting something.
Everybody.
And so I think it's important, but I don't know how you're going to sustain this. And then you get guys coming in being highly recruited. "Coach, they offered me $500. What can you do?"
Yeah.
What can you do? So let me give you the greatest example. I'm with Pat Narduzzi. I'm doing the Chick-fil-A golf tournament just a year and a half ago. Down there, we're getting ready to tee off 9 a.m. May 1st, John. May 1st. He's getting ready. We swing, and he has that phone. And I look at Randy Edsel, who I'm riding with. I've seen that look before. Must have had a player get hurt, get in trouble or something. He's on the phone saying, "Go ahead and hit. I can't hit right now." Second hole, "Go ahead. I can't hit." And so finally, third hole, I said, "Pat, everything okay?" "No, my best receiver, Biletnikoff receiver, Jordan Addison." I said, "Yeah. Caught a lot of touchdown passes." "Yeah, he's at USC right now." He says, "If I can't match $1 million, he's gone." Now here he is. He's a Biletnikoff Award winner.
Yeah, man.
All right. He's had he loves Pittsburgh. He don't love Pittsburgh that much because USC has 1 million. 1 million.
Money talks, coach. Money talks.
And you can't really blame the kid. But now, he's trying to gather up some boot. Can you get me $1 million? We got to get Jordan back. I mean, where are we going?
Yeah.
How are you going to sustain that?
Yeah. Now, there's a guy who is mastering the NIL world right now that pretty dadgum good. The Italians call it the consigliere. The brothers call it the OG. You the OG. Well, there's a guy who is shaping college football, who we all know as Coach Prime, aka Deion Sanders. And Houston, you his OG now. How did that relationship get started? And how did that relationship
I
get
don't know.
started?
I don't know if you could truly classify me as the OG. I learned something tonight about OG. I didn't know nothing about that. But I'm so thankful that you educate me like that. But look, John, Milton, it all started back with me when we came to the Cotton Bowl. I had the privilege of coaching the Cotton Bowl 4 times. And one of those times, we're practicing at SMU. And I see Deion Sanders, and I asked the custodian, I said, is that Deion Sanders walking? I said, yep. His son goes to school here. I ran and called him. I said, Deion, Coach Nutt here. I got my team here. I got to have you talk to my team.
Okay.
And so that's where it started. And he said, hey, if I'm going to talk to your team, you got to talk to my high school team. He had a high school team. He's coaching his sons over there at a high school team in Dallas. I said, no problem. And so I come back the next year to Cotton Bowl. I said, hey, Deion, come on, let's go. I got his number now. Got to have you. I'm 1-0 with you. I got to have you. So we developed a relationship. And I tell you what, John, and you know this, Mildred, you know this when you sing. The guy's electric. The guy is magnetic. You want to be around him. And yes, yeah, absolutely. And so when I went and spoke at Jackson State, that was the first time I seen him actually on the field in a college atmosphere with coaches. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you now, he was holding them accountable. He was, they were practicing. There wasn't one lazy step, brother, not one. And it showed me a lot about his leadership. You all know that every mother and father wants Deion in their living room. They just do.
Yeah.
And Mildred, you hit it. The social media, because I remember asking at Jackson State, I said, you got cameras everywhere. Does that not bother you? Because here I am. I'm old school, right? He said, I have to do this. I'm going to get my message out. And I'm talking about messages where he'll bring all the women in that work in the administration and work in the cafeteria. He'll bring them all in. And he'll tell his team, these are the women that work here. I want them respected.
I saw the video.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I want them treated like your mother, your sister. I mean, that's just so good, Now, a lot of people would disagree. We heard a lot of flack about when he first got to Colorado. He told them all, go get in the portal.
Yeah.
Go get in the portal. And there's some that stayed now. And he kept some. You don't hear much about that, but he did keep some players. But I tell you what, he changed the landscape now. And he jumped off the first 3 weeks. There wasn't but one coach that was coaching on this planet, it seemed like. It was Deion Prime Time Sanders.
Yeah. Yeah, H. And he signed that Seton kid. He got the #1 player in the country again. Yeah. Houston, I'm telling you, man, this guy, and if NIL is gonna be the law of the land, he said it. Money. I don't chase money. Money chases me. He says it all the time. I don't chase the bag. Bag chases me. And hey, he's right. He's right. Houston, man, thanks so very much, man. I can't tell you how much this means to me, man. Please give my best to Diana, Hannah, Haley, Haven, and Lil H. Your whole crew, man. Hey, you too. Mildred, keep it going. Keep your daddy now. Keep him straight now. Straight up. This guy runs. I tell you what, I love what you do when you're asking questions to the great ones, Jackie, Cheryl, and all these guys y'all had on, man. I tell you what, y'all did a great job. Fun to watch, man. Appreciate you,
Coach.
Houston. Man, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. Go get them grandbabies back on your knee and go bounce them, Houston.
Hey, one thing for sure, I'm gonna be bouncing that ball because they got enough iPads and phones and all that. When Pappy gets there, it's all about ball.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Take care, Coach. Take care, man.
Love you,
Thank
man.
you so much.
Thanks, H. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate it. Wow. Man. That's a reunion for you.
That's a reunion, man. That's great.
That's a reunion. That's a reunion. Hey, man, listen, Houston. Slim. It's a lot. Hey, Slim. It's a lot of things going on, man, with HBCU football. Pick this thing for me right quick, man. Fill my cup up, brother, because there's a lot of things going on.
That first of all, Texas Southern has yet to sign a head coach. We've yet to pick one. That's my alma mater. It's your former coaching job. What are we doing at Third Ward? First of all, Fred McNair was the running candidate for the longest time. His name was out there. But now, since the meeting has been delayed, Andre Johnson of the Houston Texans has now become the front name.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
The job came open, Slim. The job came open 3 days before Thanksgiving. And here we are now 2 days before the new year. And we know further in hiring a coach at Texas Southern than when the job came open. And quite frankly, well, my take on it is I think they're going to muscle Andre Johnson in because it's very apparent that they do not want Fred McNair. And so I think that there's some money behind it. Houston Texan money that has been promised to TSU. And money talks. And HBCUs need money. So it would not surprise me. Not one bit.
Oh, Coach, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
So, Coach, it looks like Grambling got their man. While we're talking about coaches in the HBCU, congratulations to Grambling. They got their head coach.
They did, and I think it's an excellent suggestion. I think Mickey Joseph is a guy who has been on both Power 5 and SWAC schools. This guy coached at Langston, Slim. He coached at Alabama State. He coached at Alcorn. He was at Grambling with Broderick Forbes, so he knows the league. Mildred, he was interim head coach at Nebraska. He also was the associate head coach and wide receiver coach for Ed Orgeron when they won the national championship at LSU in 2019. So the guy's got a diverse background. I think he's highly qualified. And most of all, I like what he said at his press conference. Slim, we were at Grambling.
Yeah. And
I said this all the time. When you talk about Grambling football, you talking about that G, okay? Yeah. And he said, and Mickey Joseph said at his press conference, he said, we gonna make people fear this G. We're gonna make them fear the G. And I think that going in with that mindset that he's going to galvanize the fan base and going to galvanize the alum and give Grambling the football team that they deserve.
Looking forward to it, Coach. Congratulations again, Coach Mickey Joseph. Looking forward to what the Tigers can bring in the 2024 season.
All day. Slim, man,
Rose Bowl.
It's been a ball. It's been a ball, man.
Has been. What about this Rose Bowl, though, Coach?
Well,
let's talk about these bowl games.
I tell you what, right quick. Gonna be a heck of a game, but just like where Houston said, Slim, I like Alabama, and I think that this JJ McCarthy, while he is 25-1 as a starter, he has not played anybody with the athleticism, the speed, the size that he's going to be confronted with on Monday with that Crimson Tide defense. And Jalen Milroe has gotten better and better and better. From a kid who was benched in the second game, they're down 3-0 against South Florida. He goes on the bench, but now this kid is coming on like gangbusters. I like Alabama. Who do you like?
Coach, I'm looking for a rematch again. I'm looking for Texas-Bama. I'm looking for a Texas-Bama showdown again. Okay. I really am.
Sugar Bowl.
It's been Sugar Bowl, Coach. I'm looking for Texas to win. I think Chris. I think O'Dunes and Jalen, both 1,000-yard receivers. They both can take the top off the defense. Jalen Pope can take the top off the defense, but I still think Texas front four is too much for Washington.
Well, I'm an old O-line coach, so I'm going to be following the game with keen interest for the Washington offensive line. Slim, they won the Joe Moore Award. That signifies the #1 offensive line in the FBS. And if they can protect and allow the Washington offense to have some form of a running game, Michael Penix ain't no joke. And if they can run the football, that means that they are able. If you can block them, you can beat them.
You can beat them.
If they can own that line of scrimmage, or at least establish some form of a running game, Slim. And I know everybody talking about a rematch. Houston even said it, looking for a rematch. But you watch that offensive line in Washington. If they play well with Michael Penix at quarterback and them 2,000-yard receivers, that Rome O'Dunes kid and Jalen Pope.
Yep.
Washington gonna win that football game. But man, I tell you what, man.
It's great to be in the studio with you, man. I am too, Coach. I'm waiting for that game, and it was great to be back in the studio with you again. Thank you for having Houston Nutt on. That was a heck of a reunion now, Coach.
Yeah, man.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. It was great to see OH again. He's a hell of a guy.
Tell Mama I love her, all right?
I'll tell your mama you love her and give my love to everybody up in Oklahoma City, my brother.
Will do.
All right, dude. And finally, for all them folks that got their mouth stuck out about, ooh, they cheated Florida State, understand this. Florida State had to get in the Wildcat with a running back to generate enough offense to beat Louisville, who lost to Kentucky the week before. So give it a rest, okay? The team that got slighted in this whole scenario was Georgia. They won 38 games in a row and came 4 points from winning 39 in a row. Oh, by the way, and won back-to-back national championships. The committee didn't want to have 2 SEC teams in the Final Four. So they tried to get it right. The old formula of undefeated in Power 5 don't always work. And it didn't fit in this scenario. So Florida State got what they deserved, a bold bid against Georgia. Now you're going to find out about it. And that's how I see it. 6 o'clock, straight up and down.
All right, man. That's how we see it, and that's how it is.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait to do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into this week's episode. Talk with a twist of down home wisdom. Coach Houston, thank you again for being our special guest on today's episode of HomeSpun Sports. We really appreciate it. We look forward to another episode with you, man, in the future. Another happy, healthy relationship. Coach, I'm looking forward to getting these bowl games out the way, man. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to be a part of them, and I can't wait for the next show, honestly.
Hey, you know what, Slim? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this was a little tease. We've been talking about doing this, me and Slim, and we welcome your comments, your input, and Lord knows we appreciate the love that you have shown Mildred and I over the years.
Same.
So we're talking, and if the response is favorable and you enjoyed this show, we'd like maybe to come back again and give you another one when the NFL playoffs start. So, hey, hit that like button. It's going to be on the YouTube channel. And we always welcome your input, and we appreciate your support. Much love.
Hit the likes, y'all. Hit the comments, hit the likes, subscribe, and share. See you, Coach.
What he said. What he said.